alongside the one, the only, John Gambadoro. Hi, Gambo.
Bernsey, what's going on?
Working from home today, are you, my lad? You working from
I
home
am.
today? All right.
Yes, I'm working from home. I was at the D-backs game last night, so I saw that disaster of a game. So I was there for that.
But you didn't go to today's wildly successful.
No, I didn't go to
follow-up?
that. I went last. I went last night and sat next to Alex Weiner and watched the game and went in the clubhouse and. Afterwards, talked to Tori and some of the players and stuff like that. And then I came home and I watched Austria. I watched the Austria soccer game last night. I got home and I figured I'd get a little work done before I went to sleep. And I turned on the game and Austria's playing, so I watched them. I'd watched Norway with you and then, England this morning. So I got a chance to watch some of the World Cup. I've been excited about it.
Did you get into the World Cup action?
Sure. Great event. Just a great event.
You are.
How can you not?
You're Mr. International around here. I mean, everybody knows it, right? So it's not a surprise that you're getting into the World Cup.
Yeah. I mean, I was actually texting with a friend I have in Austria.
Oh,
the kid that came, the guy that came out for the Suns game, big Suns fan, came out in January for 2 Suns games, and never met him before. But I was in Austria last year, and then he lives there, and he follows the show because he's a Suns fan. And he came out and we set him up with a bunch of tickets to the game, and he got to meet players and all of that stuff. So I was messaging with him last night because they were watching the game in Austria. So yeah, I watched that, and then England today with a big win. So exciting times.
A lot going on, and yes, last night for the Diamondbacks was an unmitigated disaster. But that is not our top story of the day today on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Burns and Gambo, the weigh-in.
1-1. There's the swing. High fly ball out to right. Adele is going back. He is at the fence, at the wall. Gone! It is another grand slam for Corbin Carroll. Second of the year, 5th of his career.
It's like they took all that bottled up aggression from last night, all that anger, all of that everything, and they just...
They took it out on the Italian.
Like a can of Coke that you shake up, right? They just kind of opened it up on the Italian today. And, boy, the Italian wore it. The starting pitcher for the Angels, a member of the Italian team from the World Baseball Classic, as the Diamondbacks crush the L.A. Angels today to win the series by a score. The score was 8-1 today. They win the series 2-1. Eduardo Rodriguez gets career number 100. Corbin Carroll with the grand slam. All in all, a very good follow-up to last night's awful performance.
Yeah. Sam Aldigeri, the first Major League Baseball player born actually in Italy, in Verona, and they rocked him. They just rocked him. It was I'm listening to the game, and the great Steve Berthume is up there, and he's saying, they say, Corbin Carroll, with the bases loaded, they showed this stat. With the bases loaded, he's batting .324 with 4 grand slams. And I think it was the next pitch, grand slam.
Boom.
I'm like, wow. That is just, he's got 5 grand slams in his career, and that made it 5-1. That was a big inning. They had 2 outs because Lawler had popped out with Vargas on first, and then Groover flew out, the 2 outs, but then Troy gets the RBI triple. Marte gets hit by a pitch that bounced in the dirt first, and then Perdomo works out a walk, and then, obviously the Corbin Carroll grand slam made it 5-1. It was huge. So just a great game for him. Erod, I just cannot speak more highly about Eduardo Rodriguez. I think so highly of him and what he's been able to do this year. If he doesn't make the All-Star game, it's a damn shame because he has been one of the best pitchers in baseball. And I'll just say this. I mean, you look at the record, and the record's great, and the ERA is just incredible. ERA is 2.45. But Burns, this is what I care about more than anything. They've won 11 of his 15 starts. Yeah. That's an ace.
Yeah. It's and we're going to talk about Merrill Kelly and that clunker a little bit later. And, of course, we've talked about Zach Gallen all season long. That's what they're not giving you, right? Like even in the games where they pitch and they pitch okay, the Diamondbacks just haven't won a ton of games when Merrill Kelly or Zach Gallen are pitching for you. Eduardo Rodriguez is giving you that. It's that confidence that you get as a team, and I think it in part speaks to a number like that. What'd you say, 11 of 15, 11 of 16?
11 of 15. 11 out of the 15 games that he's pitched, that he started.
It's just that confidence that I think we feel as fans, that we feel as media, that they feel as players, knowing that Eduardo Rodriguez is out there. And I can't believe I'm saying this about him, because for the first 2 years, you would never dream of saying anything like this about Eduardo Rodriguez. But that boost that you get when you know he's out there, So it made his appearance last week against Cincinnati so funky because it goes against everything that we've learned about Eduardo Rodriguez this year. When he's out there, you feel like you have a great chance to win. And outside of the Zach Neto home run to lead off the game, boy, once that happened, it was just lockdown mode after that, man. He wasn't giving up anything to the Angels. He scattered a few walks, which Eduardo Rodriguez would do, but it's career victory number 100. He's the 17th active pitcher in Major League Baseball to hit that number. He's now the 10th Venezuelan pitcher to hit that mark, so I'm sure that's a moment of pride for him too.
Sure.
And we were having the All-Star conversation yesterday, and you know what? Admittedly, maybe we didn't give as much attention as we should have to Eduardo Rodriguez, because I think if you're starting to make a list of who other than Zach Gallen should make it, maybe Eduardo Rodriguez should be the guy who's number 2 on the Diamondbacks list when it comes to guys who should be All-Stars this year in Philly.
Yeah, I think he should be. I mean, without a doubt. I just could not be more impressed. And he had 3 innings in today's game in which he threw 10 or fewer pitches. 9 in the first, and then there was a 9 and then a 10. So he got to 100 pitches. You mentioned it, his 100th win, and what'd you say, the 10th Venezuelan-born player to do that? What a tremendous accomplishment that is. And, and a lot of people ask, did the World Baseball Classic have something to do with this? And I think so. I think he got motivated to pitch in it. It was a big thing for pride and for him, and he got in great shape. I mean, it's easy to look at him and in the dugout, in the clubhouse. If you go in the club, you see him this year compared to last year, he looks like a different person.
Yes,
I mean,
he does.
Facially, he looks okay, but his body has changed dramatically. He got in shape. That, and then I think if there was no World Baseball Classic this year, I don't know if we'd be seeing this version of Eduardo Rodriguez, but I don't care. There was, and he got motivated to pitch in it. It meant a lot to him, and he got in great shape, and he stayed in great shape. And where the Diamondbacks are, they're taking advantage of this because he looks fantastic.
Yeah, a couple of numbers here on him on Erod that kind of just play off of what you're talking about. It's his 5th start this year, going at least 7 innings and giving up 1 run or less. He's had 5 of those starts this season. And this one from Bob Nightingale, and I thought this jarred some memories here. His 2.45 ERA is the lowest for a qualified Arizona starter to this point in a season since Patrick Corbin's 2.19 back in 2013. So no qualified Diamondback starter has had a lower ERA at this point in the season than Erod does since Patrick Corbin back 13 years ago.
Okay, let me give you the list. Mizorowski, Christopher Sanchez, Cam Schlittler, Chase Burns, Chris Sale. Those are the only pitchers in Major League Baseball, American League and National League, that have a better ERA as a starter than Eduardo Rodriguez. He's got a better ERA than Yamamoto, Rasmussen, Martinez, Messick, Dylan Cease, Robleski, Skeen, Soriano. His 2.45 is 7th in all of Major League Baseball, which is, freaking impressive because, he doesn't have the strikeouts that Sanchez and Mizorowski have. He's just pitched great.
Yeah,
he's just pitched fantastic.
Yeah, he has. 2 things. Mitch points out in my headset that year I was talking about with Patrick Corbin, he was an All-Star that year in 2013, so there's some precedent here from Erod. And number 2, major props from producer Lauren for how carefully and deliberately you said the name Schlittler. She was, you're not here, you're working from home, but I can just tell you on the other side of the glass, Lauren had this cringy look on her face and then this slow transformation to acceptance and even support. Like, she was like, oh, I don't know. Okay, yeah, good. He got it. Yeah, great. Yeah, right. So that's what you miss. See, when you're working from home, those are the things you miss when you're not here.
Yeah,
Lauren wasn't sure you were going to get.
I don't pronounce words very well as it is, and then you throw in a name that's kind of tricky and could end up in a curse word, and it sounds pretty bad.
When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, trade deadline in Major League Baseball still a month and a half away, but asked today, right now, Mike Hazen very much answered in the affirmative when it comes to the Diamondback status. We'll talk about it next. Hang with us, the Burns and Gambo show on this Wednesday.
Diamondbacks baseball.
3-0-1. Swung on, and a ground ball to short. Perdomo charging, has it. He throws to first in time, and that's your ball game. Diamondbacks win it by a final score of 8-1. They were powered by the Corbin Carroll Grand Slam early, and Eduardo Rodriguez gets his 100th career Major League victory in the process.
More reaction coming your way on YouTube, the Arizona Sports app, ArizonaSports.com, and 98.7.
Luke Lipinski back to tell you about Orchard. It's home selling season, and the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home is settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard, though. The whole buying and selling process can be a grind. Lowball offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less, but don't do that. This is your home we're talking about. You don't have to settle when you sell with an Orchard agent. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale. Their local agents help you sell on the market for top dollar, and here's how they do it. First, Orchard will give you cash up front to buy, move into your new home. Get that part done. Do it on your timeline. Get settled in. Do it without waiting around for other people. No showings, no double moves, none of that. Then, once you're settled in, your Orchard agent will help you sell your home on market for top dollar. One Orchard customer recently said, I went under contract within 24 hours of my home listing, which was amazing. Look, with Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell, but still get top dollar for your home with Orchard. If you're curious how much your home is worth, visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. It's quick, it's easy, it's all right there on Orchard.com.
The world's biggest soccer tournament is here. Cheer on the U.S. men's national team at 3 official watch parties with Arizona Sports at Lazy Bird Kitchen and Cocktails in Peoria. Get details at ArizonaSports.com. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
It's a hot spot on your dog's leg. But the internet says you can treat it at home. You're not sure though, 'cause now it's oozing.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Ooh, he's licking it. Super gross, dude.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
Hey, it's Tom Chambers with my friend Harold Perkins at Galaxy Lending Group. Harold, the average pro basketball career is only about 5 years, and your clients are paying off their mortgages in about the same time?
They are. Galaxy's Ownership Accelerator loan puts your existing cash flow to work against your mortgage balance so you can pay off your home in a fraction of the time with no lifestyle changes.
Visit GalaxyLendingGroup.com/radio or text Galaxy to 620-620. Galaxy Lending Group, because 30 years really is optional.
NMLS ID 142766 and equal housing lender. Message and data rates may apply.
Dan Bickley here with my great friend Shane O'Hanrahan, GM of Chapman BMW, where there's big news coming from your service departments.
That's right, Bick. We have slash prices on major repairs and 12 essential services, from oil changes to brake pads. The savings are incredible, and you don't have to take my word for it. Just go to ChapmanBMW.com, put your VIN number in, and you'll see all the money you're saving. And it doesn't matter where you purchase your BMW.
That's Chapman BMW, 2 great locations.
1 great experience.
What California Pools and Landscape did for us at Casa Galvisi, they've been doing since 1988, transforming backyards into amazing escapes. Heck, Cal Pools built our original pool in the 90s, so for the refresh, no one we trusted more. But it's so much more. New decking, shade structure, landscaping, turf, and they're Arizona's most awarded pool builder. This month, they're celebrating those 38 years with the biggest savings of the summer. Get a free estimate and see our new backyard at calpool.com/Paul.
KMVP FM Phoenix, live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studio. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
I'm Mitch Vareldes with Trending Now. It's presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. Diamondbacks have now won back-to-back series after a rough start to the month of June. They defeated the Angels in the finale this afternoon, 8-1. Corbin Carroll's grand slam led the way offensively, while Eduardo Rodriguez threw quality stuff on the mound. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 walks, but only 1 run allowed and 5 strikeouts. Also, career victory number 100 in Steady Eddie's career. Diamondbacks have tomorrow off before they welcome the Minnesota Twins for a 3-game series that'll start on Friday. Devin Booker will be sporting a new but familiar jersey number next season for the Suns. Reports say Book will be switching from 1 to 15 for the upcoming season. 15 is the number he's worn while playing with Team USA at the Olympics, and also pays homage to his father, Melvin, who wore 15 at Missouri. 15 on the Suns was last worn by current restricted free agent Mark Williams. And the Mercury, back in action tonight at Mortgage Matchup Center. They're looking to end a 3-game losing streak against the Las Vegas Aces. Tip-off will be at 7. This report is brought to you by Galaxy Lending Group. Pay off your mortgage in 5 years or less without changing your lifestyle with the Ownership Accelerator loan from Galaxy Lending, because 30 years is optional. Just text GALAXY to 620-620, NMLS 142766, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here. Can the Diamondbacks win a series against the Angels? We'll continue to discuss our baseball team. Tune in. Fun begins at 6 a.m. on Arizona Sports, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
Oh, I heard the first riff, and I'm like, yeah, tip jar this.
Of course, I would totally agree with that.
Beautiful Led Zeppelin song. I was like, my face just did oh, this is good. Forgot about this one. Welcome back, Burns and Gambo. Happy Wednesday to you. Gambo working from home today. I'm live from the Casino Arizona Talking Stick Resort Studios. But we're here with you till 6 o'clock, coming off a Diamondbacks win and a series win against the Angels. Erod was fantastic. Grand slam from Corbin Carroll. Tommy Troy had a couple of hits. Ketel Marte had a couple of hits and a 2-run double. Gambo, it was almost, I want to set this up the way I think it should be set up. So,
okay.
Wolf and Luke, and Kellen was filling in for Luke today. They were down on the field today. And their show went until 12, and then they stepped aside for the D-backs BP show in the Diamondbacks game. They had Mike Hazen on at 11:45, and I got the impression it was kind of a shorter interview, and they were up against it, and they couldn't really run long because the game was about to start. So at the very end of the interview, Kellen is kind of wrapping it up, and he laments the fact that he didn't even ask Mike Hazen a question about being buyers at the trade deadline. To which Mike Hazen just said,
I couldn't ask you the buyer seller's question, all that kind of stuff. You know, it is
I'm planning on buying. I'll answer that question for you.
Okay, there you go. That was a nice little tidbit at the end.
There you go. I'm planning on buying. I'm planning on buying, says Mike Hazen. Now, more details to come, I'm sure. The trade deadline is still a ways away. We've got, 5-6 weeks until we get there. But Mike Hazen, in a very simple, direct statement, indicated where his position is right now when it comes to the Diamondbacks. I'm planning on buying, quote, unquote.
Yeah, there has been nobody more frustrated by the lack of offense than Mike Hazen. I mean, it is eating him alive that this team is struggling to score runs. And I put some numbers down. The amount of games where they've scored 0, 1, or 2 runs is absolutely mind-boggling. It's just incredible. I had it in my email to you last night. But nobody is more distraught.
Is that a cue for me to go look up your email?
No, I wasn't thinking sometimes you're going to talk about something.
They've been shut out.
You bring it up
7 times. They've scored 1 run 9 times and 2 runs 11 times.
There it is.
So in 27 games, they have scored 2 runs or fewer.
Right.
And then all caps brutal.
And I can tell you that Mike is distraught over this, that this is just something that is eating him alive. And they've got to – Kepler's going to be here in 11 days. He'll be up here in 11 days. And who knows what he could bring, but maybe he brings a little pop. They need left-handed bats really desperately. If Pavin Smith doesn't turn things around, I don't think he's going to be on this roster. I mean, I do think that these next couple of weeks are very important for Pavin. The 1 home run doesn't justify keeping him if he continues to struggle the way he has. But they are so desperate for a bat, so desperate for a middle-of-the-lineup bat, because as you watch the struggles of Nolan Arenado and all these other guys, you realize that's the one thing. That's the one thing that could really – the bullpen's been great. Starting pitching, 2 of the guys have been great. 2 of the guys have been terrible. and one of the guys has been okay. So that's what you got. But they got to get this up. Bernsey, this cannot continue. These games in which they score less than 3 runs, it just can't continue.
Yeah, and I want to make sure. I don't know if today is the elixir. I don't know if today is the cure to what's been going on. It was nice to see them break out, but it was just one game. And obviously we need to see it more than one game to be convinced the Diamondbacks offense has found itself or busted out or broken out or whatever, because there's just too big of a sample size now over the last 3 weeks or so, watching them struggle night after night to think that one game isn't going to fix that. But Mike Hazen, yes, and he was asked before he made that comment on I'm planning on buying, on talking about not hitting their stride yet offensively, but then citing a couple of seasons ago as his hope that they will find their footing.
We haven't hit our stride yet this year. There's good and bad with that. It's been a struggle to this point. But, in 2024, I believe, when we were grinding through the first half of the season, we didn't, Gino had a 5-something OPS. I think Corbin was struggling. And then we were lights out offensively for the rest of the season with the same group of players. I believe that maybe with a little less power, the Gino Suarez sort of power surge that we got out of that, we have good hitters in our lineup that are capable of putting up 5 to 6 runs a night. We start getting that, we're going to go on a winning streak.
But if they decide that group needs help, today on ESPN.com, and this is one that I bookmarked and I plan on saving for a while the closer we get to the August 3rd trade deadline, Gambo, they listed the top 100 names to know going into the trade deadline, kind of an early trade deadline primer, if you will, on ESPN.com. And there were a couple of interesting things about it. I know you emailed me this story, and I emailed one back with like different observations. I think observation number one, there was not one Diamondback player who was on the list. Not one. It was 100 names. Not one of them were on the Diamondbacks. So maybe we'll get to that point where they're flipping and it's not so sure that they're going to be buyers. But for now, they are not perceived at all as anything but buyers. The other thing that was hard not to notice, for the top 25 players on this list, they listed best possible landing spots for the top 25 players.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks are on every team.
God, the Diamondbacks are mentioned for every other player.
Right.
It took me 10 minutes just to transcribe all the players that the Diamondbacks were listed as best fits for. It's very obvious.
I started to just put the copy and paste it, and after I got through the fourth guy, I looked down. I'm like, I can't do. I'm just going to send a link. I can't actually write down every single, or just put the names in there because it was.
I did it.
It was crazy. They would tie to everybody. They tied to just about. Look, because they want to be buyers. They want to be buyers, and they need a bat desperately. And there are a lot of decent bats that are going to be available.
Yeah, and I won't go through every name on the list. And I will tell you that of all the names the Diamondbacks were listed as a best fit for, some of them were pitchers. I mean, there were quite a few starters on this list, and there were quite a few relievers on this list. So it wasn't like all bats. There were a lot of starters here. There were 2 players that the Diamondbacks were the first team listed as the best fit. 2 players.
Okay.
Wilson Contreras,
He'd be perfect.
The right-handed hitting first baseman from the Boston Red Sox.
He'd be perfect. He doesn't hit lefty, which they want, but he'd be perfect for them.
Diamondbacks are listed, the first team listed under best fits. Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, good player. Good player. Hasn't he's like mid-30s. He's 34 years old.
He's having a really good season. I believe he's
having a great season. Yeah. He's under contract. It's not a terrible contract when you look at it. He's under contract for the rest of this year at $18 million. So you'd pay $9 million, a little bit less, probably $7.5 million. He's under contract for next season at 35 years old for $17 million. And then you could get out of it. There's a club option for $20 million in 2028. So you could get out. So if you want to keep him, you keep him. If you don't want to keep him, you can get out of the deal. So it's a great contract. He's a really good player. Lauren's going to remember him from the Cubs. He had some really good seasons with the Cubs.
Again, you're not here. You can't see her. You can't see her facial reaction. She's giving you a yes, Gambo. I remember him from the Cubs.
He's a good player. Yeah. Like he's a good player. He's not a 30 home run guy, and he's not a 100 RBI guy. So take that out of the picture. But he's a productive player, and he'd be a lot better than anything they have right now.
He's a .295 batting average with a .945 OPS, 16 homers, and 43 RBI. I mean, I get they want.
Yeah, that OPS that's higher than it's ever been. I don't know if that's an outlier or not, but it's never been that high.
That's a good point. It's about 130 points higher than his career OPS. So it is unusually high, and maybe that's just playing at Fenway. But the only thing working against him is a lefty. The other player upon which the Diamondbacks were the first team listed, Christian Walker of the Houston Astros.
Another right-handed bat, right? So it's not the left-handed bat you want. And the contract's kind of similar to Contreras, except there's not a club option in 27. It's a guarantee. So you'd have to pay him $20 million for this year and then $20 million for next year. Then he's a free agent. So basically, I guess it is the same contract, similar. It's a little bit more. You would have him under contract for this year, and then you would have him under contract for next year for $20 million. So you'd pay him this year. You'd probably pay him $8.5 million, and then $20 million. So if you'd have a year and a half for Christian Walker for $28.5 million, something right around that range, and he's having a bounce back year. I mean, he's performed very, very well. They've always liked him. They didn't want to give him that long of a contract. The Astros are terrible. They'd probably look to move him. Again, it's older players. These guys are 34, 35 years old. You're not getting anybody who's a long-term fix for you. You're getting somebody that's a 1 to 2 year option.
Christian Walker, is having, unlike Wilson Contreras, he is having a very typical Christian Walker year. Right in line with his career norms, right what we've come to expect from him when he was with the Diamondbacks. Batting average, OPS, homers, RBI, He is having a very typical Christian, which is a good thing. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that it's a very good thing that he's just having a very typical Christian Walker year, and certainly, as you point out, a bounce back from last year. There are a lot of other names here. Like I say, not a lot of lefties, but a lot of starting pitchers in there too, and certainly something to keep an eye on. When we come back on the Burns and Gambo Show here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader, Devin Booker changing his number. Does it mean anything at all when it comes to the future of Mark Williams? That's next on Burns and Gambo.
Bickley and Marotta Mornings.
The priorities of this basketball team are to sign Jordan Goodwin and Colin Gillespie to extensions. I say good because they both deserve them, but there needs to be something bigger. There needs to be a Jalen Green trade that somehow puts Devin Booker in a better place. Yes. If we need Devin Booker to be Jalen Brunson, the Suns need to build a much better ecosystem around him.
Yes.
Now, who is that player? Who's that guy out there?
See, that's where it gets difficult.
Yeah.
Bickley and Marotta. Mornings on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Love telling you about asset preservation, wealth, and tax, and the great Stuart Willis and everything that he's done for me to help me with my financial situation, the ability to just sit down with him. I've had him at the house to go over all of this with me and my wife. It's just, very important to have a financial plan, a retirement plan, an estate plan, a tax plan. But a lot of financial advisors, the only thing they're interested in is you investing, because you invest and they help you make some money and they make money off of you, but they're not looking at the bigger picture. They're not looking at what happens when you start to get a little bit older and you're going to start to take some of that money out and you're going to start to live off of that money. That's why you need to have a tax plan, because a lot of us are putting money away tax deferred, and you want to make sure that you understand that, and you want to have an estate plan, and you want to make sure that your plan is going to last you through retirement. It's not just about having a financial advisor that's helping you with investments. Hey, stocks and bonds, and let's take this risk. And it's about having a real plan, and that's why I want you to call Stuart Willis at 602-877-PLAN. Set up a free review so you can have a real plan, not a partial plan like many investors give you. That's 602-877-PLAN.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man. She's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
If your windows can't keep up with the heat, it's time for an upgrade. At the Window Depot, windows are what we do. Biggest inventory, best prices, guaranteed. Found a lower price? We'll beat it. Shop in stock or custom vinyl windows, built for efficiency and style. From one window to full home replacement, we help you get the right windows for less. Lower your energy bills and stay comfortable year-round. Visit a location near you or order online at thewindowdepot.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Hey, it's Vince Marotta. Join us Thursday morning. We'll talk to D-backs president and CEO Derek Hall. All the fun starts at 6 on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
Gambo, can I be honest with you for a second? He didn't have his microphone on.
What's that?
I said, can I be honest with you for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
First thing I thought of when I read that Devin Booker was changing his number from 1 to 15 today, first thing I thought of was, what do I do with my 2 Devin Booker jerseys that have number 1 on the back? Do I need to get a new jersey now?
No.
Or do I just go retro, vintage, old school Devin Booker number 1? Right? Like,
yeah.
That's. I think that's what I'm gonna do. But I pulled them both out of the closet. I took a picture of them. I put it on social media. I'm like, well, I got 2 of these. I got a tweet from a listener who his son has 6 Devin Booker jerseys, 6 different jerseys, and they all have number 1 on them. So that's the first thing I thought of.
Well, you know, the good thing is you could just add a number, right? I mean, it's not like he's changing from 1 to 22.
I could take the tape, the white tape, and just tape a 5 after
right,
the
and it'll
1.
just look like you bought it from a third world country, and they just had the number like it's not centered. You could just have a 5 stitched in next to the 1,
which I did,
and it'll be like, man, who is stitching that thing for you? That looks terrible.
Yeah, it looks awful. Looks like you had that done in like Cambodia or something.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You know, what do you do? Then the other thing I thought of, you know, and we'll get to the why he did it in a second. The other thing I couldn't help but to think of is that 15 was Mark Williams' number. And I wonder if Devin Booker knows something we don't, or I mean, number changes happen all the time, and it doesn't mean that Mark Williams is gone necessarily. But it is interesting, given that he's one of the players whose future we've talked a lot about, and Devin Booker just kind of took his number from him.
Well, okay, you got to pay him for the number,
of course.
Okay, so nobody's talking about this, so let's talk about it. It's very likely that, look, at the right number, the Suns would like Mark Williams back. At the wrong number, they don't want him back. So the Suns don't know if he's coming back. He doesn't know if he's coming back, but they'd like him back. So I can't, like, if they didn't like him back, I would tell you. Like, when last year at this time, I told you there is a 0.0% chance. I actually said less than 0. I went with the movie reference. Less than 0% chance that Bradley Beal would be back with the Suns. When a lot of people were saying he was going to be back. Mark Williams is a lot different. It's 50-50. It really is. What is his price? What is his market? If he wants a 3-year deal, they don't want a 3-year deal. If it's a reasonable contract that, allows them to trade him at some point, then they would do it. So do they want him back? Yeah, at the right price. So now, while he's still a member of the Suns, and he hasn't gone anywhere yet, he hasn't signed with another team, I would think that, Book throws him, look, I want your number. Let me throw you a few shekels here, and we'll get it done. So my gut feeling is that there's probably more than a gut feeling, is probably a payment involved.
I'm sure there was.
In which he goes to Mark, I want to wear 15. Well, will you take this much money? And Mark, damn, all right, I'll switch numbers for.
I don't care what number I wear. You want to give me whatever for 15? Fine, man.
Right.
I'll take it. He's swapped.
So that's very likely what it is right now.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It's just it's curious. I mean, because I think about a number change that happened with the Arizona Cardinals. The minute Kyler Murray was gone, boy, Mac Wilson, like the body wasn't even cold yet, and he just swooped in. I'm like, I got number 1, belongs to me. I'm the new number 1 on the Arizona Cardinals now because Kyler's in Minnesota.
Yeah, Mark was 15. He was 15 when he was at Duke, and he's 15. But
money talks, baby. Money talks.
Yeah, Book's got a lot of money. I mean, he can make a really good offer.
Yeah,
that sure. Mark Williams says. Mark Williams doesn't have that type of money. He might be like, yeah, you know what? That number doesn't mean that much to me. Give me that cash.
It's a move to honor his father, Melvin Booker, who wore number 15 at Missouri. Booker also wore number 15 during his Team USA Olympic runs in 2021 and 2024. So the number, if it feels familiar, I think that's the reason why Olympic Book wears number 15 when he's on that team, and obviously he's had great success. Beyond that, I'll be curious to hear what his other reasons are, if there are other reasons. I mean, he's certainly not the only player in the history of the NBA to change numbers. Kobe obviously very famously did it. Members of the Suns, Amari Stoudemire comes to mind, famously did it, right? Whether famous is the right word or not, but you're talking about noteworthy players who decided to switch numbers. It will take some getting used to see him wearing a different number, but I trust that the core reason here is that he wanted to do something to honor his father, and that's the reason why he's making the switch. And I don't look into it any more than that. I just think the Mark Williams thing is a curiosity. I also saw something today, and I thought of you when I saw it. Speaking of Devin Booker, the ringer.com, and they update this every month or so, and now that the season is done with the Knicks winning, they updated it again. They rank all of the players in the NBA, just 1 through, I think it's 100, and then they stop there. Devin Booker comes in at number 18, which is a slight downgrade from where he was over the course of the season. He was 15th in late January, 16th in late February, back up to 15th in late March. At the start of the playoffs, he was 15th. Now the Ringer has him at number 18 in the NBA. Kind of a downslide that we had predicted a little bit with Devin Booker in terms of how he's perceived nationally.
Yeah, and there's other publications that have him much further down than even that. And I think I even said at one point that he's, from talking to executives throughout the league, Booker's considered more of a top 30 player in the league. That doesn't mean he's not a great player. Doesn't mean he's not a really good player. Just, he's considered more of a top 30 player. But he's sliding a little bit down that list. I mean, 18 is probably a little generous for where he should be. But I think what I don't want to see, and I know what you don't want to see, is because, we're fans of his, and he's done a lot for the community and for the Sun. I don't want to see him to continue to slide. And I think for that to happen, he has to have a bounce-back year. He has to have a better year than what he had this past season. And if he does that, and he's very capable of doing that, then I think he could jump back up a little bit. Some guys are on the down, like Nolan Arenado's on this downward spiral, right? He's not going to pick it back up. Devin Booker is very capable of passing some of the guys that are ahead of him on that list. He's just got to have a really good year.
Some of the names that were listed behind him, I was a little surprised
Donovan
that
Mitchell
he was ahead of. No, the guys, Devin Booker was 18. Jamal Murray was 19th. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, Jamal Murray,
Devin Booker was ahead of him. OG Anunoby at 21. A little surprised Devin Booker was ahead of him. And maybe that's recency bias because of the finals. Denny Advia was another guy I wasn't quite sure where he'd be slotted. So, yeah, it's going to be kind of part of what's going to happen this offseason. Devin Booker, it was not a great year for him in that regard and how he's kind of perceived nationally. And if they really mean what they say, the Phoenix Suns do, and I have no reason to think that they don't, they still very much believe that Devin Booker is the kind of player you build a championship roster around and that he is going to be a part of a championship winning team here. And if that's the case, they got to get moving on that because there's not going to be a ton of time left in that when it comes to him even being a viable part of where he is right now on this list, right? Before he starts to slide. Eventually his age is going to catch up to him in this regard.
Yeah, there's a lot of players in the history of sports that, stayed with teams for a long time and then eventually won a championship. And I think that, I think that people Booker, his window is closing. Well, we don't know what this team's going to look like in 3 years. We don't know what that's going to be. I mean, how old was John Elway when he won his first title, with the Broncos after all those years of failure and stuff. So there are plenty of examples of guys that stayed with teams for a long time in their careers and then finally won a championship when they were in their mid-30s, and so that happens. So I do think that, I think it's always premature to sit there and say, why hold on to Book now? Just get rid of him because, this team's not going to win at any time in the next 2 years. And maybe that's right, that they're not going to win in the next 2 years. But what if they win in 3 years? I mean, look at how – if I would have told you the year they went to the NBA Finals – that, just in a few years from now, the Suns are going to have Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, or if I would have told you they're going to have Kevin Durant and Jordan Goodwin, and, you never believed it. So I think you have to look at things like that. You have to look at the team that went to the championship game, and we all thought, this window is open forever. They're so young. They got a 7-year window to win a championship. They're so young. They dismantled that team, and the team was completely different. And so I think, and not for a positive way, it was more for a negative. So the roster's not going to look the same in 3 years. I agree with, this first year, they're not going to win a championship this next year, and probably not the year after that. But we have no idea what the roster would look like in 3 years and who may come here to play with Buck.
When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, what NFL teams are and should be willing to take a flyer on Brendan Sorsby? We got some news on that. We'll tell you what it is next on Burns and Gambo.
The Arizona Sports YouTube channel. Just the local sports leader doing what we do on YouTube. Serve yourself some Arizona sports for live shows, podcasts, viral clips, shorts, and more. Subscribe to the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
I do love telling you about Sanderson Ford, America's most awarded Ford dealership. They do an absolutely amazing job of helping the community as well. They got employee pricing going on right now, but they do a lot to help the community. And as we prepare for extreme summer temperatures, they're going to invite you to join them in supporting a community water drive in partnership with the Salvation Army. The Desert Ford dealers have kicked off a water drive with a commitment to donate 13 pallets of water, one on behalf of each of the 13 Phoenix Ford dealers. Sanderson Ford would love to accomplish this goal on their own and collect over 13 pallets. So if you can get out to Sanderson Ford and donate water, they would love it. Donations can be made in person at Sanderson Ford, 51st Avenue in Glendale, or monetary donations can be made by contacting Jenny Kester at Sanderson Ford. It's J. Kester, Kester, at SandersonFord.com, and you can make a monetary donation. But they're really trying to help out there. And don't forget, employee pricing right now is going to save you a lot of money on a new Ford. They're on 51st Avenue in Glendale. For more information, go to SandersonFord.com.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and do you struggle raising your arms, climbing stairs, kneeling down? That means you can't play with the kids, golf with the guys, or get through a workday without that exhausting pain. So let's celebrate what you can do, and that's exactly what QC Kinetics patients are doing. Not bracing for the next jolt of pain, it's gone, and they're back to living their lives. So many of you have been through QC Kinetics, game-changing regenerative treatments done right in their office, no missing work, no surgery injury, no long recovery, the inflammation calms down, and the pain backs off. Hearing about these life-changing treatments on Arizona Sports helped a lot of you dig out from under that long list of can'ts and get back to living your best life. So let's get rid of that pain starting now. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation with clinics in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler. Here's the number, 602-837-PAIN, 602-837-PAIN for QC Kinetics.
This is Ken Goodrich with Gettle. Think your water's just H2O? Think again. It's full of minerals, chlorine, and mystery gas crashing through your pipes. Our Gettle water purity system blocks that bad stuff, so only clean water makes it through. Happier appliances, shinier hair, no more soap scum. With 85 years of Gettle know-how, it's more than a filter, it's peace of mind. Gettle, G-O-E-T-T-L. We'll keep your water clean, but it's hard to spell.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I'm Mitch Varaldis with Trending Now. It's presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. Diamondbacks have now won back-to-back series after a rough start to the month of June. They defeated the Angels in today's finale 8-1. Corbin Carroll's grand slam led the way offensively, while Eduardo Rodriguez threw quality stuff on the mound. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 walks, but only 1 run allowed and 5 strikeouts. Also, I'm burying the lead. That was career victory number 100 for Steady Eddie in his career. Diamondbacks have tomorrow off before they welcome in the Minnesota Twins for the first of a 3-game set that'll start on Friday. Devin Booker will be sporting a new but familiar jersey number next season for the Suns. Reports say that Book will be switching from 1 to 15. I did it backwards visually. Oops. For the upcoming season. 15 is the number that he wore while playing with Team USA at the Olympics, and it also pays homage to his father, Melvin, who wore 15 when he played at Missouri. 15 on the Suns was last worn by current restricted free agent Mark Williams. And the Mercury, back in action tonight at Mortgage Matchup Center. They're looking to end a 3-game losing streak, taking on the Las Vegas Aces. Tip-off will be at 7. This report is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at k2visionrle.com.
Hey, it's Wolf. How much of a distraction would it be if the Cardinals bring in Brendan Sorsby? We'll discuss tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
Yeah, there's been a development in the Brendan Sorsby situation. Gambo reported yesterday the Cardinals are expected to be in attendance for this proposed pro day that he's going to have on July 10th at a high school in Texas in July.
Yes.
And the Cardinals will be there. You also
They'll have representation there.
Yep. We don't know who, but obviously they'll have somebody there. You also added the team has already kind of done its homework on the quarterback.
Extensive. They've got a lot of work done on him already. Yes.
Yeah. The head coach of Cincinnati, the last team that Sorsby played for, because he obviously never played for Texas Tech, said, I've been getting a lot of calls. Last 24 hours, I've been getting a lot of calls from a lot of people who are kind of wanting to know about the kid and want to know what I think about the kid and things like that. His agent went on a radio station. I can't remember where. I'll have to check my notes. And he basically said, I've gotten calls from 26 teams. I got 22 either general managers or personnel directors who called me last night. I got 4 more who called me today. So I've had 26 people kind of check in on Brendan Sorsby. So obviously all the flaws are known. All of the pitfalls we're all very well aware of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that hasn't stopped anybody from wanting to get as much information as they can, because there could be a very wide net of teams that would be interested in Brendan Sorsby potentially.
I've been kind of shocked at the amount of people that just want nothing to do with this kid. This kid is a tremendous talent. He made a terrible mistake. He had a gambling problem. He had a terrible mistake. He didn't kill anybody. There's no domestic abuse here. He's not a drug addict. He had a gambling addiction. And he, and you got to hope that he learned his. I wouldn't shy away from him for that. I mean, we're gonna torture this kid and keep him out of the NFL for. No, I think the NFL probably has to do something, because college football was going to punish him, and I do think the NFL will probably do something. But as far as teams are concerned, every team should have some interest in him. Is he a good quarterback? I mean, never judge anybody by their worst day, right? I mean, the kid had a gambling issue, and it got caught. It cost him his ability to continue to play in college football and to go to the NFL right now. And I think when you get him, I think you're going to do everything you can to make sure that it doesn't happen again and give him the support and the resources he needs. But I wouldn't give up on the kid. No,
I wouldn't either. I just you used the word twice. You said he had a gambling addiction, and I think that's the big question is here. Is it past tense or is it present tense?
I don't know.
I know you don't know, and I'm not expecting you to know, but I'm saying that's where NFL teams have to decide. Okay, he had it. Is it past tense?
That's probably still an addict, right? I mean, don't they say that about? Don't they say that about, like, if you're an alcoholic, aren't you like?
You're always an alcoholic,
even though you're off for 3. You don't do it for 3. I'm an addict.
Yes.
Yeah, you consider yourself an addict. So he's a gambling addict. But there are, as an organization, you're going to do everything you can to support him with all the resources he needs to make sure he doesn't done it again. You'll monitor him and you'll go over everything with. And I don't think the kid's stupid. I mean, He's look, this is a big lesson I learned. Like, I'm not going to do that. I think when you hear from him, you'll hear him say all the right things. I learned a valuable lesson. I shouldn't have done it. I'll never do it again. I'm getting all the help I need to make sure that doesn't happen. Now, now if he does it again, okay, I get it. And maybe that's why he's not worthy of a first-round pick to some teams, but a second-round pick? Like, if you told me right now the Cardinals have a chance to get him in the second round, I'll take it. I'm not going to take the kid because he gambled. He made $9,000 bets at $10 each. He liked to gamble, and he made a mistake. But I'm not going to not consider the kid because of that.
I wonder how much. I mean, I'm not going to not take him because of that either. But I'm also, you still have to factor that into the equation, right? Like, you still, in terms of the pros, cons, do I, don't I kind of thing, I think you do have to factor into the equation. Are you worried this will be a problem still? Are you worried that you're going to invest the second-round pick in him only to find out a year later he hasn't kicked a habit and he's still got it, and that's going to get him suspended, and that's going to get him into, what was it, Calvin Ridley, who got suspended by the NFL for a year, right, for betting? So, I mean, you do, I think, have to do your really, really good homework on the kid to see if you think it's going to continue to be a problem and not just sweep it under the rug and assume.
But what if you think he's a great player? What if oh my goodness, this kid's going to be a star in the NFL?
If you think that, and I assume there's going to be at least a couple of teams who think, oh yeah, we're getting ourselves a steal here. We're getting ourselves a first-round quarterback for a third-round pick, a first-round quarterback for a second-round pick. Oh, I absolutely. I think there will be teams that will feel that way about him and will treat him appropriately. That will go get him because of that. I expect there's going to be a fairly robust market for a guy that a lot of people thought was going to be the third best quarterback in next year's draft that you can have for a relative song compared to what you normally would have to give up for a guy like that. The Tom Pelissero was on Good Morning Football today said that the expectation that he's hearing right now is that Sorsby's application will be accepted by the NFL. And that the supplemental draft, he said it hasn't even been scheduled yet. It takes part via email. All we know is going to be held sometime in late July. I mean, like, it's not that big of a deal for the NFL. I mean, it's almost like this clerical thing that they have to do, but now obviously it's going to be under a lot more scrutiny. But I did see somebody said, look, he's the most, I think it was Dane Brugler of The Athletic, said, make no mistake, this is the best quarterback to come into the supplemental draft in 30 years. 30 years.
Yeah.
Since the supplemental draft has seen a quarterback like this. So there is going to be a lot of expectation. And Bruce Feldman, college football writer for The Athletic, wrote a terrific story today about, hey, some people like him. Some people think he's an absolute NFL quarterback waiting to happen. There are others who worry that the kid is not going to have a hard time not gambling, but is just going to have a hard time kind of managing the baggage of everything that he's gone through the last year or so. Like, it's just a lot to ask a kid like that to just step in and be a franchise quarterback after he's been dealing with all the stuff he's been dealing with for the last 6 months.
There's a lot of kids that come into the NFL with a lot of baggage and they get drafted. We had the Cardinals draft the guy who fell out of a window after smoking marijuana.
That's right.
And 15 feet, he felt like 15 to 20 feet from a window.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was and they drafted him in the first round.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of guys with red flags.
Yeah, one guy said, quote, if you think about whatever he's gone through the last year and the scrutiny he's already gone through, and now the scrutiny that he's going to receive, and he's going to come out and perform at a higher level than what he did in college because he needs to get better, man, that's a hard scenario to see, close quote. Said one, it was a Big 12 personnel director who said that about him. So
Tyler Drake wrote a nice column that he's not worth the gamble. While I disagree with the column, and I do think he's worth the gamble, Tyler's point and it is well taken. What if he throws 2 interceptions in a game? Are people going to be like, oh, he got money on the game? But he's going to have to learn how to deal with that. He made that bet. He's got to lie in it.
Yeah.
He's going to have to deal with that and if I was him, I would no social media, because the second you throw 2 interceptions, one gets returned for a touchdown and people lose money on that, they're going to think you threw the game. So you're not on Instagram, you're not on Facebook, you're not on Twitter. Like I would make it mandatory that he cannot have those type of accounts on my team, because it's just, he's going to have bad games. And when he has a bad game, people are going to be like, oh, he's got money on money on the other team.
That's going to be part of the scrutiny.
That's going to be part of it, but he's going to have to be mature and deal with that.
USA takes on Australia Friday at noon. Arizona Sports is hosting a watch party at Lazy Bird Kitchen and Cocktails in Peoria. Come cheer on the red, white, and blue. Text the word CUP to 620-620 for more info and reserve your table. And it's powered by Michelob Ultra. The NBA offseason, any day now, big stuff is going to start to happen. How big? I'll tell you next on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Hey everybody, this is Dan Bickley.
And Vince Marotta.
The Arizona heat is dangerous, but you can help save the lives of our most vulnerable neighbors.
Arizona Sports and the UPS Store are teaming up with the Phoenix Rescue Mission to fight thirst and heat-related illness. You can drop off water at a participating The UPS Store location or donate today. Just text WATER to 620-620 to learn more.
The Arizona Sports Water Drive benefiting the Phoenix Rescue Mission is presented by the UPS Store.
So my daughter told me she needs to go into the Schwartz Laser Eye Center because she needs to get her eyes checked. This is my daughter that's a doctor, and get new glasses and contacts. And my wife told me that our son needs to go get his eyes examined once the summer kind of breaks, right before school starts. She wants to go in and get that done. So we are a family that uses Dr. Jay Schwartz in the Schwartz Laser Eye Center. Always have and always will, because he's simply the best at what he does. Locations in Glendale, Scottsdale, and Mesa. The Schwartz Laser Eye Center. Dr. Schwartz is the team eye doctor for your Suns and your Diamondbacks. So the pros trust them with their eyes, and my family trusts them. And I got a great message the other day from somebody that had a vision correction procedure done and doesn't need glasses anymore. And I was so happy to hear that. So if you are somebody that wants a vision correction procedure, or you just want to get an eye exam or new glasses or contacts, contact the Schwartz Laser Eye Center at 480-483-EYES. That's 480-483-EYES. Or go online at teamidoc.com.
This Father's Day, skip the gift card. Give Dad the garage he's always wanted. Space Solutions builds custom garage cabinets, a place for every tool, every toy, every weekend project, designed around the way he actually uses the space. Family owned right here in Phoenix, not a franchise. And right now, it's last call for summer installs. Visit our showroom or book a free in-home consultation. We'll come to you. Visit spacesolutionsaz.com or call 602-298-6956.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hello, everybody. Eric Bryan, owner of Precision Air and Plumbing. You know, people ask me all the time why I still love doing this after all these years, especially in the Arizona summer heat. And honestly, it's because I love helping people when they need it the most. There's something really rewarding about showing up to a home that's miserable and hot and leaving knowing that that family can finally relax and feel comfortable again. That never gets old to me. Make the precision decision today. Call 602-FIX-MY-AC.
Decision with Precision Air.
Buy gold and put some silver in your pocket. I know what you're thinking. Everything's expensive right now. How am I going to buy gold? It's Ron Paul. Nowadays, a lot of things are out of your control, but there is something you can do right now to diversify your retirement, and it doesn't cost you anything out of pocket. My friends at Birch Gold Group will help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, a time-tested hedge against inflation. Plus, in honor of America 250, Birch Gold is going to give you a special America 250 1-ounce silver round for every $10,000 you purchase by July 2nd. Text the word SECURE to the number 989898 to get a free info kit from Birch Gold and claim eligibility for this limited time offer. Again, text the word SECURE to 989898 today.
The Burns and Gambo Social Poll.
And it can be found at ArizonaSports.com. Social poll of the day. Lauren, in her final on-air act before...
What?
Yeah, she's going to Chicago for her birthday this weekend. Going to go see a Cubs game with the family. She's leaving...
That's right.
Tonight, tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Live your best life.
Thank you, Gambo.
Have a beer, have a dog.
That is literally my game plan Friday afternoon.
Fantastic game plan. Fantastic game plan. So, not that she's going anywhere. She's not. She's here till 6, but I don't know if she's going to be on the air again. You got a poll question. What is it? What are we asking the folks?
Well, it's something that you guys talked about last segment, but quite simply put, the Cardinals are expected to attend Brendan Sorsby's Pro Day. Should they take a chance on him if it arises, yes or no?
Without knowing the specifics of what we're talking about, I'm generally of the belief that they should kick the tires on this.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
No is leading the way with 53% of the vote, 47% going with yes.
Okay.
What percent says no?
53. So it's basically 50-50. It's a coin flip.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like one of those old things, for me anyway, you have a big decision to make in life, and you take a piece of paper, draw a line right down the middle, and on one side you write pros, and on one side you write cons. There are a lot of pros and there are a lot of cons to this. A lot. It's not, I don't think, I mean, you might disagree with this, Gamble. I don't think it's so one-sided in terms of the pros completely outweigh the cons or vice versa. I think there are a lot of arguments on both sides of the aisle on this one to make a case to do it or not do it when it comes to Sorsby. That's my opinion. I think it's a very complicated issue.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, it's not cut and dry.
Yeah.
It's not cut and dry. But they don't have a quarterback. Their quarterback position is not settled, and we don't know what the future of it holds. So to me, I think they have to consider it.
So the NBA, tomorrow's the parade in Midtown Manhattan, and not that they're waiting on the parade to get anything done, but NBA offseason, the draft is next week. Free agency is shortly after. Everything's going to go boom, 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 and bang, bang, bang here real quick. And we know we're pretty sure Giannis is going to get traded. We're pretty sure that thing is going to happen. There might be other big superstar players to get traded, but there could be some bold things that happen over the next few weeks. CBS Sports did their best attempts to predict bold predictions for the upcoming NBA offseason. The first one they list I don't think is that bold at all, and that's the Spurs trade De'Aaron Fox. I'll be curious to see if they can pull that off or not, just based off of the postseason he had.
I was surprised they didn't trade him at halftime of like one of the last few games.
I don't know if they're going to be able to. I really don't. He's expensive.
Yeah.
He's
you know what,
really
though?
expensive.
You know what? He's a good basketball player. He's a good player. He had a bad series, and they've got a guy to replace him. So, like, he is expendable. He's a good basketball player. I've always liked him. And he was in Sacramento, and he didn't win a whole lot. He gets in a situation like this, and he's one of those guys. He was one of the few veteran guys that really needed to step up for them because they were so young and he wasn't able to do it. But I do like him as a player.
I liked him. I think he is going to be damaged goods this offseason. I just don't know if they're going to find a market for a team that's willing to take on that salary.
It's a lot of money. You're right.
It's like, what, $47 million per year, I think, for the next 3 or 4 years. And after, I don't know, after watching the Suns and what they went through with Bradley Beal, and I'm not saying De'Aaron Fox is Bradley Beal because I think De'Aaron Fox is a better player than Bradley Beal. Still, that can be an albatross salary. This one, I totally think is happening, and that's LeBron James joining the Golden State Warriors.
You would win a bet.
100, and not because I would win a bet. I just 100% think that's happening.
Yeah.
I think
right
LeBron
now, you owe me one lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you owe me one lunch right now.
Still owe you a lunch.
We would be even. We would be even if LeBron goes anywhere else. I said he's either going to retire or stay with the Lakers, and you've got him as going somewhere else.
Yeah, I think he ends up with the Warriors. I think that's his true last hurrah, is to go try to see if he can make one last push with Steph by his side.
You know what that would remind me of?
The Rockets with Pippen, Barkley, and Hakeem.
Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. When Barkley went to the Rockets to go play with those guys, let's get this old folks home going and try to win a championship. That would very much be, to me, him joining Curry and Draymond to try, all these guys at the end of their careers, Jimmy Butler trying to win a championship. That's what it would remind me of, the Barkley Rockets.
This one is curious. Their prediction is that Minnesota wins the Giannis sweepstakes. Not Miami, not Boston. Those are the two teams that are long rumored to be the landing spot for Giannis Antetokounmpo. They're predicting the Minnesota Timberwolves.
As a Suns fan, you hate it, but as an NBA fan, I totally respect these teams that look at Oklahoma City and San Antonio, and they have a good team, and they say, we've got to go for it. And the Timberwolves are the prime example. They've got a really good basketball team, and they're not better than Oklahoma City, and they're probably not better than the Spurs, but I think that they've got to go for it. You've got to take advantage of this window you have with the players you have, and I think that they've got to go for it. That makes a lot of sense to me.
I think, and that's the side benefit to your point of the Knicks winning the championship, is the dynasty that we're all fearing is coming. It's not here yet. Now, maybe next year it is. Maybe next year Oklahoma City wins another, and then it becomes 2 out of 3, and then 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5, whatever the case may be. Maybe that dynasty, we're on the precipice of that moment happening, but it hasn't happened yet. And for all of these teams like Denver and Minnesota, teams that think they're right there, maybe even Houston's on that list, depending if they can get their act together when they start to get some guys back. I agree with you. I think they should be ultra aggressive right now to take advantage of the fact 8 different championships have happened over the last 8 years. 8 different teams have won championships over the last 8 years. Get in on that while you still can before it changes. You know, get in on that now. And I think Minnesota is one of those teams.
Got a great player in Anthony Edwards and some really good complementary players. Try to win.
When we come back on Burns and Gambo, the Arizona Diamondbacks ran it back with their starters from a year ago. And despite today's win, it's pretty obvious that plan has not really worked out for the D-backs. We'll talk about it coming up here on this Wednesday edition on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2.
I want to see the continuity. I want to see the Phoenix Suns and the culture once again kind of settle. Last year, think about it. It was the first year. It was really the first year of Brian Gregory, of course, and the Phoenix Suns and what it is that they were going to do, and Jordan Ott. It was the first year. And having seen that, I want to see year 2. Let me see this team play together again for another year. And how much better might they be? Because I'm thinking they are going to get better. Just bring them back. I want to see continuity.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
It's an absolutely great product that I've been taking for many, many years. Got it in front of me right now. M-Drive with all the clinically tested ingredients, helping to boost your natural testosterone, helping you to burn fat, helping you energy, stamina, recovery. Look, what changes is biology. You're still the same person, but energy, metabolism, recovery, it all shifts on you as you start to get older. That's why M-Drive is built specifically for that shift. It's built for men. And they've got great products. It's trusted by over 1 million men who refuse to slow down. Comes with a 60-day guarantee. It's made right here in the USA. It's going to help you with your energy, your testosterone support, but it's also going to help you with your endurance, your stamina, your ability to recover. You work out hard every day. You want to recover and go do something again the next day. That's what M-Drive's for. Support for men like me and you. So if you go online at mdriveformen.com, you can find the M-Drive that's right for you. You even got to take the quiz, and they'll take the quiz, and they'll show you which M-Drive is right for you. Right there. Just take the quiz, and they'll find you the perfect product for you. 20% off when you put Gambo in the promo code at mdriveformen.com.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here with my great friend and the guy who will hook you up, Shane O'Hanrahan, GM of Chapman BMW, where the summer sales event is already in full effect.
That's right, Bick, and the savings are incredible. So if you want to spend your summer in the ultimate driving machine, now is a great time to make it happen. And to all your listeners, remember to ask for me by name. I'll make sure you get the best price you're going to find in the Valley.
That's Chapman BMW, 2 great locations,
1 great experience.
Parker & Sons here. What if your new AC unit started paying you back before you paid for it? A new high-efficiency unit cuts cooling costs from day one, so you save on energy all summer before you've spent a dime on the system. Because right now, you pay nothing until 2027. No interest, no payments, no stress. But this offer ends June 30th. Call 602-2-REPAIR for your free quote. That's 602-2-REPAIR.
Scorpions don't hate you. Ain't got the brains for hate. What they got is a tail full of bad intentions. Been living in this desert since the dirt was new. Think they got squatters' rights to your laundry basket.
Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Scorpions may have squatters' rights to the desert, but not to your property. Call 602 Blue Sky today. Real pest science, real protection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, Scorpions.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consult today at k2visionrle.com.
K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Being hurt in an accident can change your life, and we want you to be empowered in that situation, and that is why we tell you to call Sweet James. Hey, everybody, Dan Bickley here, and when one of our listeners got hurt in a motorcycle accident, he was shocked by the lowball offer he got from the insurance company, and he called Sweet James, and his new team of attorneys helped him get the medical care needed to get on that bike again, and then they fought tirelessly to deliver a $400,000 win. Now, no firm can guarantee outcomes, but if you're ever hurt in an accident, you need a team of local attorneys who have the care, the skill, and the resources to win the most for you, and Sweet James brings over 500 trials of experience to every case, big or small, and that is why they win 98% of the time, and they win big. Call Sweet James at 800-9-million. That's 800-9-million. Find them online at sweetjames.com. Proud partner of your Phoenix Suns.
KMVP FM Phoenix, live from the Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort Studio. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
I'm Mitch Vareldes with Trending Now. It's presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. Diamondbacks have now won back-to-back series after a rough start to the month of June. They defeated the Angels in the series finale today, 8-1. Corbin Carroll's grand slam led the way offensively, while Eduardo Rodriguez threw quality stuff on the mound. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 walks, but only 1 run allowed and 5 strikeouts. Also, I'm burying the lead. That was career victory number 100 for Erod in his career. Diamondbacks have tomorrow off before they welcome the Minnesota Twins for a 3-game set. That series will start on Friday. Devin Booker will be sporting a new but familiar number next season for the Suns. Reports say Book will be switching from 1 to 15 for the upcoming season. 15 is the number that he's worn while playing for Team USA at the Olympics, and it additionally pays homage to his father Melvin, who wore 15 when he played at Missouri. 15 on the Suns was last worn by current restricted free agent Mark Williams. And the Mercury back in action tonight at Mortgage Matchup Center. They're looking to end a 3-game losing streak, taking on the Las Vegas Aces. Tip-off will be at 7. This report is brought to you by Galaxy Lending Group. Paying off your mortgage in 5 years sounds crazy, but Galaxy Lending Group clients are doing it every day. Text GALAXY to 620-620 to find out how, because 30 years is optional. NMLS 142766, Equal Housing Lender.
Here are your top 3 headlines on ArizonaSports.com. I'm Bailey Leisure. Devin Booker is changing his son's jersey number from number 1. Diamondbacks general manager Mike Hazen says he's planning to buy at the trade deadline. And Corbin Carroll's grand slam highlights Diamondbacks' palate cleanser win over the Angels. Those are your top 3 headlines on ArizonaSports.com.
And Bailey ain't lying. The palate needed to be cleansed after last night's 7-0 loss to the Angels. Now, I don't want to, like Mitch just said, the what's trending now just a second ago, I don't want to bury the lead. The lead is that Eduardo Rodriguez pitched very well. Corbin Carroll hit a grand slam. Diamondbacks won the series, and that ultimately is the takeaway here, is that they won a series that they had to win, and they did it with an offensive output. They haven't scored 8 runs in a game since May 24th. Okay, and Erod was fantastic again today and is really solidifying a case to be an all-star. That being said, Gambo, because we've had 2 games to kind of look at here now and talk about, we have to spend a moment or two talking about Merrill Kelly's performance and that game last night, because it was bad, and we need to talk about it for a few minutes.
That's terrible. He bombed again last night. 6 runs on 11 hits, gave up 2 more home runs. His ERA is 5.81. We're talking about a guy. You know me. I mean, I'm probably the biggest Merrill Kelly fan that we have at the radio station.
I would agree with that.
I don't know if there's anybody at this radio station that believes in him more than I do. He's been freaking awful. 5 starts out of 12 where he's given up 5 or more runs. 5 starts out of 12, he's given up 5 or more runs. He's also given up multiple home runs in 4 of the 12 starts. He's got 15 allowed this year. I mean, and then I looked at Gallen, who's 3-5 with a 5.35 ERA, and he's given up 13 home runs. And you're like, These two guys that you spent $42 million on, they're 11-16. Like, you're not getting any bang for your buck. This has been a total waste of money. Gallen and Kelly have been a total waste of money. And it pains me to say it, because we like both of these guys and we want them to do well, but it is what it is. And, they've been awful. So I watching Merrill Kelly pitch last night. He's going to gut it out and try to give you as many innings as he can, but he's not fooling anybody. He never had the great fastball, but he always had that moxie to pitch and to make people, guess and miss, and that just doesn't seem to be here this year.
Yeah, Merrill Kelly last night talked about his frustration.
I mean, obviously it's not fun. I don't enjoy getting my teeth kicked in. I'll mix a good one in. Like Miami was, I thought, fine. 6 for 2, 75 pitches. Probably could have gone another one, but obviously the one before that, and then tonight's not ideal. And the start of the year wasn't ideal. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. But I got to be better. It's nobody's fault but my own. I'm just simply not doing my job right now, and I need to do a better job.
And again, not to go all numbers crazy on everybody here, but you mentioned that in 5 of his 12 starts, he's allowed 5 or more runs. If you up it to 6, and you say, how many times this year has he given up 6 or more earned runs? It's happened 4 times in 12 starts, okay? So 4 times, 12 starts, 6 or more. He only had 5 such games in his previous 75 starts with the Diamondbacks.
That's
over 3
crazy.
years.
Say that again.
Okay.
That's insane.
For the 4th time in 12 starts, he's given up 6 or more earned runs.
Okay. You went to 6 runs. I'd only did 5 or more.
I upped it to 6 because I think it's
4 times 6 or more runs.
4 times 6 or more runs. In his last 75 starts prior to the season, he had only done that 5 times. In 75 starts. He's done it 4 times in 12 so far this year. Yeah, it's time to be worried about Merrill. I know with Merrill, I'm always trying to put off my worry, save it for another day and go, okay, you know what?
No, it's time to worry.
He had 5 straight starts. Rozier was under 3. He'll be okay. He'll figure it out. It's time to worry about Merrill Kelly. I've landed in that space, Gambo, and I'm ready to worry about him and wonder what they're going to do about it.
Listen, there are times when you want teams to run it back, and there are times when you don't want them to run it back. Remember, they didn't run it back with Christian Walker and Jock Peterson. They thought they were too expensive, and so they didn't run it back with those guys. But then they ran it back this year with Kelly and with Gallen. And, I think that, Texas gave up 4 players for Kelly, and the Diamondbacks were, it just seemed destined. It just seemed right from the second he left, like he was going to come back, and they gave him a 2-year deal and paid him $40 million. And then, in hindsight, there's nobody in that organization, if they could go back and do it again, would have said, nope, don't re-sign Merrill and don't re-sign Gallen, because they've been terrible. And these guys were your number 1 and number 2 pitchers for many years. So I appreciate what they've done. They were part of the World Series team. They're really good pitchers. They're some of our favorite guys.
Yep.
But we're talking about right now, 2026. Zach Gallen stinks, and Merrill Kelly stinks. And neither one of them are helping this baseball team win any games.
Yeah, look, the Merrill thing, and I think I can lump you into this too. We were all for it, right? Like you mentioned, it was predestined.
I love the guy.
It was just like, oh my God, absolutely. 2 years, $40 million, bring Merrill back, and you get all that stuff you got from Texas in the trade. Done, man. Sign me up. I almost put Zach in a slightly different category just because at the time they signed him and the deal they signed him for you're still going to at some point pay him that money, but it's also deferred. It just seemed like yeah, sure, what the hell, why not, right? You're going to pay Zach Gallen, what was it, $8 million this year, and then the rest of it comes later and a lot further down the road. It just seemed like yeah, why not? That to me is a little bit different, but the Corbin Burns situation, and to be honest, the Brandon Pfaadt situation has amplified the need for, number one, one of these guys hopefully figuring some things out. And I don't know if that's going to happen, but with Corbin Burns not walking through that door anytime soon and Brandon Pfaadt needing to stretch himself out a little bit, you desperately need one of these guys to figure it out, because it just doesn't feel like anybody with a cape is walking in to save your rotation, unless Mike Hazen and the organization goes all in at the trade deadline. They need a bat. They go get one. They need a starter. They go get one. I mean, how much do they want to reinvest into the things that haven't worked out for them when the trade deadline comes up? Because there's only so many resources to go around at the deadline for them to address all these issues, right?
Yeah, that's true unless they traded off of a guy. But there aren't. They had really good crowds this week against the Angels, and so that was something that they did have really good crowds. People have talked about their attendance being down. Well, this was a good 3 days against the Angels that brought a lot of people to the ballpark. So all of that stuff helps, a little bit. But here's the reality. They won 2 out of 3 against Cincinnati, and they won 2 out of 3 here in this series. So now they've won 2 series in a row. They're a half a game out of a wild card spot. They're total buyers. We sit there and we say bat, bat, bat. But, right now if you were starting a postseason, you'd go Eduardo Rodriguez number 1, Soroka number 2, and Ryan Nelson number 3.
Yep.
Gallen and Kelly they're not pitching in any of the first 3 games. You need one of those guys to pitch one of the games, but you don't have confidence in either one of them right now. You're okay. It's not a murderer's row. Eduardo Rodriguez, Michael Soroka, and Ryan Nelson. But that, if you did make the playoffs and you were in a series, like that would be a top 3 guys in a series. So you need a starting pitcher at this point, unless one of these guys turns it around. But, I mean, you know how I feel. Like, we're in mid-June. Like, if they haven't turned it around by now, are they going to?
Though, if those guys haven't turned it around, I don't know. I mean, that to me, I think about Corbin Carroll from 2 years ago.
It's a batter, not a pitcher.
I know, but he turned it around. I'm sure I could go back in Major League Baseball history, and I probably wouldn't have to work very hard to find examples of guys who got off to a really bad start through their first 11 or 12 starts and then rebounded over their last 20 and put up good numbers. I bet I wouldn't have to work that hard to find those guys.
Yeah, I think it's almost easier for a batter.
I'm talking about pitchers.
Pitchers, it's harder. I'm saying it's harder for a pitcher.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're.
But
Do I think that Zach Gallen's going to? No. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't. I think this is who Zach is now. I don't think the fastball commands there anywhere. But there are people in the organization that wanted him back, and there was others that didn't. But the people that wanted him back won out, and so he's back.
But Zach, I agree. I think this is who Zach is. Merrill, I'm still holding out hope that he can figure it out, but that hope is fading by the day. I mean, it really. I want to believe he can. Zach has basically been this version of himself for the last 2 years now, for the most part. Outside of 2 months at the end of last season when he pitched well, this is mostly who he's been. When we come back on the Burns and Gambo Show, after I give you this very important reminder, the temperature clearly has exceeded 100 in the valley, and it's going to stay there for a while. Just 15 minutes of exposure can cause permanent damage in that heat. So text WATER to 620-620. Help us save lives this summer by dropping off water at select the UPS store locations or by donating today. 26 teams reportedly have called about Brendan Sorsby. We assume the Cardinals are one. Some of the other teams that might have called are kind of interesting, too, and we'll talk about it next here on Burns and Gambo.
Live streaming audio, podcasts, video highlights. The Arizona Sports app has all this and more from the local sports leader and D-backs play-by-play.
Marte grounds it to first, and it's under the glove of Sheets. That's into right field.
Download the Arizona Sports app, presented by Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning.
Love telling you about the Lund Mortgage Team, and so many people out there, they think they can't buy a house. They think they need 20% down or that their credit's not good enough, but they really don't know what good enough actually means. And they don't understand that there are a lot of different programs out there that you don't need 20% down to buy a house. Many first-time home buyers are just guessing, which really prevents you from getting into your house. So call the Lund Mortgage Team, and they'll get you pre-qualified. It doesn't cost you anything. It's absolutely free. You'll get an answer in just a few hours. You'll walk away knowing exactly what type of house you could afford, what programs you qualify for. There's FHA, VA, there's down payment assistance. There's probably a great program built for someone just like you. But here's what sets the Lund Mortgage Team apart. Great pricing, trustworthy pricing. Lund Mortgage is a company that actually wants you to win, not squeeze every dollar out of your loan. And on top of that, Lund Mortgage is paying for the appraisal on every purchase loan they close right now. That's $600 to $800 back in your pocket. So contact the Lund Mortgage Team at 623 623-889-0130. That's 623-889-0130.
Celebrate Father's Day at the D-backs game on Sunday, June 21st. The first 15,000 dads to the game will get a Father's Day polo. Get your tickets at dbacks.com.
At the UPS Store, we understand the importance of a first impression. That's why we're here to help you put your best foot forward and be unstoppable with our printing services. With high-quality paper stock options, banners, business cards, menus, and more, we make sure your small business stands out and your message reaches the masses. After all, we're the one-stop prints that pop store. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. Come into your local store today and get your print on.
Summer. Sonoran hot dogs, baseball games, and triple-digit temperatures. When Phoenix turns up the heat, keep your home running smoothly with American Home Shield. An AHS home warranty can help protect your wallet from pricey breakdowns on even your oldest appliances and systems like your AC, plumbing, or fridge. If they can't repair your covered item, they'll replace it. American Home Shield. Don't worry, be warranty. Sign up today at ahs.com. See ahs.com/contracts for coverage details, including limit amounts, fees, limitations, and exclusions.
Every great summer road trip starts somewhere. Start yours at Freeway Chevrolet. Right now, you can get a new 2026 Silverado 1500 for up to 0% APR for 60 months. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. 0% APR for 60 months. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by July 7th, 2026.
Freeway, Chevrolet, I-10, and Ray.
It's the world's biggest soccer tournament, and you can trade it all on Kalshi. Yep, trade every match all the way to the final on Kalshi, the largest prediction market in the world, regulated and live in all 50 states. Kalshi. Hey, which continent's going to reign supreme and bring home the cup? Paul Calvisier last week checked South America, trading at 22%, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $400 if one of those countries wins soccer's biggest prize. And remember, on Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. And for a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use referral code AZSports, one word, AZSports, to get $10 when you trade 10. Referral code AZSports, one word, on the Kalshi app, Kalshi. Kalshi, trade on anything.
18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory. Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this summer, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through August 1st and save up to 25% off custom printed banners. Staples. That was easy.
Hey, it's Vince Marotta. Join us Thursday morning. We'll talk to D-backs president and CEO Derek Hall. All the fun starts at 6 on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
Agree with you on the selective morality. I mean, we see that time and time again, and I don't think this is going to be any difference. Whether they think he can manage what he is and if he has grown from it and they can trust him. If all those things happen, I suspect, some NFL team will be very glad to have Brendan Sorsby and work with him and see what he's going to be like in a couple of years from now.
That's Bruce Feldman, who was a guest on the Bickley and Marotta show today, and the talent that just cannot be ignored when it comes to Brendan Sorsby. He's 6'3". He's got an NFL-ready body right now. He's got an arm where he can make all the throws. I saw today, Gambo, where some are trying to, I don't want to say hold against him, the fact that he's, I think, 0-8 in 2 years in November with Cincinnati. Like, he's never won a game in November. I believe he's 0-11 in November as a college football quarterback. And so
he was at Cincinnati.
Yeah. So and that's part of it. And the schedule got really tough for them too in the Big 12 last year in November. He's one of those guys where you love to see him get one more year of college football at a place like Texas Tech to see how much better he would have gotten, like what he would, not because he needed the experience necessarily. This isn't a Ty Simpson guy we're talking about. He had enough experience where he could have come into the league, but really in terms of evolving his game and taking that next step and seeing whether he truly was going to be one of the 3 best quarterbacks available in the draft.
Right.
You would have loved to have seen one more college football season of him, and you're not going to get that now. And teams are going to have to weigh that when they consider their interest in Brendan Sorsby too.
Yeah, I mean, just like, teams had to, Johnny Manziel was a big-time partier, and they had to, kind of manage,
sure.
Decide that. And Ryan Leaf had, and everybody thought that, he was overweight and he wasn't coachable when he came into the league. So, and then who was it? Who was the guy that stole the crab legs? Wasn't it Jameis Winston?
Jameis Winston. It was
Jameis Winston.
From the Publix,
the guy was in public stealing crab legs, and there were other things. So, there are character risks involved with the guy. Now, this is gambling. The NFL takes it very seriously, and what you don't want to do is, you don't want to, invest a heavy draft pick in the kid, and the kid hasn't kicked the habit, and he ends up gambling, and he gets suspended. Look, you gamble on your own team, it's an automatic 2-year suspension, minimum 2 years. So you don't want to be in that position where you be that team that made that mistake. But and you can say the Cardinals can't afford to make a mistake. Yeah, you know what? They kind of can. They haven't won a championship in 80 years. They need to go get a quarterback. Now, if I'm the Cardinals and I am going to take this kid and I end up with him, I am gonna do everything I can to have the best support group around this kid, the best support group I can, and I'm gonna mandate some things. Like when Kyler had that little clause that got taken out, like you got to study and stuff.
Right.
You're gonna have to do something like, hey, we're gonna draft you, we're gonna invest in you, but we want you to continue counseling, and we want you to see, and we want to keep up on you because we're spending a lot of money on you. So I want to make sure my investment's going to be worth it. But I think they can. And obviously he's going to have a pro day, and all the teams are going to be there because the kid's got big arm talent.
I do wonder, assuming he gets accepted by the NFL, and I know we were talking about that yesterday, I still have to wonder if the NFL will at least try to suspend him at the start of the season.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I think they're going to. I think they almost have to, but I don't know for sure.
I don't know if it's going to. There's some kind of wonky precedent here with a player from a couple of years ago who it was discovered after he was in the NFL for a year that he had been betting on a bunch of sports in college sports when he was in college. And the NFL didn't suspend him. A lot of people think that the Sorsby's people will use that as sort of precedent, like, well, hey, you didn't suspend him, and he did just as much gambling as my guy did. And the NFL will come back and say, well, yeah, this guy, we didn't learn about it until after the fact, after he was in the NFL and he had already been here a year. We know about you. You did 9,000 bets. You made $90,000. We know all about your action, and we're going to take steps accordingly. Here's Tom Pelissero, and I was watching some of this video today, and I'm looking forward to getting your thoughts on this because he started getting into specific teams that could kick the tires on Brendan Sorsby. And he just got me thinking that this is a really big list potentially of teams.
You can go down the list. It's all the teams right now, Rich, that have, perhaps not their long-term quarterback answer. Could the Arizona Cardinals that just took Carson Beck in the 3rd round and are dealing with a contract standoff with Jacoby Brissett? They got Gardner Minshew in there on a 1-year deal. Could the Vikings be interested? They've got Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy competing. That's a hard one to think that they would get into that bucket. But my point is, anybody who doesn't necessarily know who their franchise quarterback is going to be, you'd be foolish not to fully research this situation, because if Brendan Sorsby had come out in the 2026 draft before all this came out, which would have been a disaster in its own right for whatever team would have taken him, or if he had played out the season at Texas Tech and gone into the 2027 draft, depending, of course, on how he plays, he quite possibly would have been a first-round pick.
But then, Gambo, he went so far as to suggest that Brendan Sorsby could be like a Jordan Love, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers type of quarterback for a team that's already got an established starter. He mentioned the Eagles. Could they take a flyer on Brendan Sorsby and just kind of stash him?
He'll never get to them.
Stash him for a year or two. Well, I mean, it depends. If they bid a second rounder and everyone bids a third rounder, then yeah, he could. I mean, if they're the only team that bids a first rounder for him, yeah, he could potentially go to the Eagles. Now that would kind of defeat the purpose. I grant you that. But like the Cowboys, could they get him and stash him for a year or two? I mean, it just
not unless they're putting a first rounder up. There's no way that there's. Here's
Are
my
you
opinion.
convinced he's a second rounder? That it's a second round pick it's going to take to get him?
But remember the way this supplemental draft order works. The NFL conducts like a lottery. It's really, I guess, it's really like 3 different lotteries.
Yeah,
so the worst teams are going to get the higher picks. And so, but it's not like the team with the worst pick is going to get the first pick. It's a lottery with those teams.
It's so weird. I'm glad you brought. It's so weird how they do this.
It's 3. They kind of break it down. So there's 3 different like drawings.
Yeah.
So like the Raiders are not going to be in there with the Rams. The Cardinals aren't going to be in there with the Rams. The Cardinals are going to be there with Seattle. So, the teams that have won 6 or fewer games, they're going to be in one, bubble.
Yep. One group, yeah.
And then they'll have a second drawing among the teams that won at least 7 games but missed the playoffs. And those teams will be 11 through 17. And then they'll have a third drawing among all the playoff teams. Those teams will all be in another. So 3 separate kind of lottery drawings to see where they go. The Cardinals will be in that first group, but they could be 1 or they could be 6.
Right.
But I don't think, like, your point, I'd be really, really surprised because if the Eagles or any of those teams get him, they're getting him with a late second-round pick. I can't imagine that a team desperate for a quarterback like the Jets or the Cardinals don't put a second-round flyer on him unless he flops in his pro day and looks terrible and he bombs in his interviews and stuff like that.
Or unless you're worried about the character issues if you're one of those teams and you say, you know what? I'm going to play it safe, and I'd rather wait until next year's draft when it's Arch Manning and Dante Moore and Lenoris Sellers and all of those guys, right? I mean, it's there's another, and if you're a team like that and you say, I want to save my second round pick because I might need it to move up to get the guy that I really, really want in next year's draft, some of those really quarterback needy teams might decide to punt on Brendan Sorsby because they just rather wait for that pot of gold that comes next year, next April, for Arch Manning and all those guys that I mentioned.
That's a great point. That is a great point, because if you take Sorsby in this, and this is the thing that I would have to like really think about if I'm the Cardinals. If I take Sorsby in the second round and he doesn't play at all, and Beck plays, and I go into the next off season and I've got the number 1 pick in the draft, and Arch Manning or the Oregon kid was incredible, like, I kind of put myself in a really, really difficult spot. Because then what are you going to do? You like what remember when the Cardinals traded Rosen for a late second round pick? I mean, I guess you could do that. Like, hey, we'll trade Sorsby for a second round pick to try to get it back.
Yeah, try to recoup what you lost for it. Yeah,
but like that would be that's the only thing that would be interesting is if you. Again, I'm not opposed to drafting a kid. If you think he's a top 3 quarterback in the draft next year, then get him in the second round if you can. I wouldn't give up a first-round pick for him, though. I wouldn't give up a first-rounder. And then again, what if you got him in the second round and you still ended up with the number 1 pick in the draft next year?
Yeah, and we talked about that a little bit yesterday. And there's still the whole idea of whether there's enough snaps to go around to figure out whether Carson Beck is the guy or whether Brendan Sorsby is the guy. I mean, I don't know if there'd be enough developmental snaps to go around between those two guys to really know for sure whether either one of them. It is. I know we've talked about this story a lot. It's a fascinating story because it's not every day something like this happens, and it's just so layered and complicated. It's kind of hard to figure out what everybody's going to do. But like you said, I think a lot of it comes down to that pro day, and a lot of it comes down to what teams are going to learn when they do their homework about the kid and just how rehabbed he is from his addiction. When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, after we tell you about celebrating the 4th, my giving back on the 5th, Vitalent's Saving Arizona Blood Drive, Sunday, July 5th from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Tempe Center for the Arts. Roll up your sleeve, help reach 700 donors. Head to our contest page for details. Right now, the Diamondbacks are buyers. How can they remain buyers by the deadline? That's coming up on Burns and Gambo.
Quickly and Marana mornings. The timeline of this Cardinals offseason is ridiculous because it's would they have given the extension in the raise to Jacoby Brissett if they didn't already sign Gardner Minshew? Would they have signed Gardner Minshew if they knew they were going to draft Carson Beck? Would they have drafted Carson Beck if they knew Brendan Sorsby would be available? It's like each one of the quarterbacks has a question mark now.
Has a sliding door mentality to it, yeah.
Bickley and Murata, mornings on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
All right, back here for Global Credit Union and customer service like you've never seen when it comes to banking or financial institutions these days. 24/7, 365 live U.S.-based customer support when it comes to Global Credit Union. So you have a checking. I have a checking account with Global. I have a savings account. I have a loan with Global Credit Union. I have a question at 1 o'clock in the morning about one of my accounts because I've woken up in the middle of the night. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my money. I can call Global Credit Union 24/7, 365 live. I'm going to speak to a U.S.-based customer support representative, and they're going to walk me through exactly what's going on with my accounts. That's the kind of customer service that a lot of financial institutions, quite frankly, are offshoring these days, right? Not Global Credit Union. They want me as a member to know that all my questions are going to get answers, and that's part of what makes Global Credit Union so great. There's a whole lot more than that. Joining is simple. Sign up online at globalcu.org or just stop by any of their branches to experience it for yourself. Global Credit Union, better rates, fewer fees, real savings, and the kind of service that makes your money work smarter for you.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Hey, Arizona, it's Vince Murata. Truck Month is finally here, and Earnhardt Buick GMC in Mesa is kicking it off with their biggest deals of the season. This is the one time of year when the Valley's best GMC trucks come with the Valley's best savings. Forget all the runarounds and pressure from those other guys. At Earnhardt, you walk in as a customer, you leave feeling like family. That's 75 years of doing things the no-bull way. Right now, save up to nearly $14,000 off MSRP or get 0% financing for 60 months on a new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Crew Cab. And the savings keep coming with up to $6,000 off MSRP on a new 2026 GMC Canyon just in time for summer. Discover the hottest trucks now ready and waiting for you. Visit Earnhardt Buick GMC in Mesa and experience the difference, or find your perfect match at EarnhardtBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
After all applicable incentives on select models, all offers with approved credit through GM Financial. See dealer for details. Offers in June 30th, 2026.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Arizona lawyer will handle Arizona cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
I'm Mitch Vareldes with Trending Now. It's presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. Diamondbacks have now won back-to-back series after a rough start to the month of June. They defeated the Angels in the finale this afternoon, 8-1. Corbin Carroll's grand slam led the way offensively, while Eduardo Rodriguez threw quality stuff on the mound. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 walks, only 1 run allowed, and 5 strikeouts. Also, probably should have led with this, it's career victory number 100 for Erod in his career. Diamondbacks have tomorrow off before they welcome the Minnesota Twins for a 3-game set that starts on Friday. Devin Booker will be sporting a new but familiar jersey number next season for the Suns. Reports say Book will be switching from 1 to 15 for the upcoming season. 15 is the number that he's worn playing for Team USA at the Olympics, and it pays homage to his father Melvin, who wore 15 at Missouri. 15 on the Suns was last worn by current restricted free agent Mark Williams. And the Mercury back in action tonight at Mortgage Matchup Center. They're looking to end a 3-game losing streak against the Las Vegas Aces, a rematch of the W Finals. Tip-off will be at 7. This report is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at k2visionrle.com.
Hey, it's Wolf. With the Diamondbacks able to come away with a series win over Mike Trout and the Angels, we'll be reacting to the series finale tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and the Arizona Sports YouTube channel.
They were, and we'll talk about it in 30 seconds. First, I got to bring this up just real quick because Mitch mentioned it in what's trending now. The Devin Booker number change.
Yeah.
If you want a Devin Booker number 1 jersey,
yeah.
Oh, brothers and sisters, now is the time to do it because they're all on sale. They're all on sale.
Oh,
I just did a quick Google search of Booker jersey, and they're all slash and dash.
Just get a 5 stitched next to it, and somebody will say, it doesn't really look centered. And yeah, I got it. You know, I got it on this this website where they ship from a third world country.
Now's a good time to go get one if you want one of the number 1 ones before the number 15 comes out, because you can get it for a discount. I'm not saying you can get it for dirt cheap, but you can certainly get it for a discount. Much needed Arizona Diamondbacks win today. They're all much needed at this point. You just can't lose a series to the LA Angels when you're fighting tooth and claw for every win you can get and every series win. It was great to see the offense explode. It was great to see Eduardo Rodriguez come through with another fantastic start. He's been doing it all season long.
Been incredible.
This one felt very necessary today, Gambo. Very necessary.
Yeah, so glad to have Eduardo Rodriguez on them. You had to win the series, right? Yeah. They won the series against the Reds. They weren't happy with that series. I was talking with a lot of people last night when I was at the ballpark and in the clubhouse and everything. They didn't play well. Like they were kind of fortunate to win that series. They didn't play their best baseball, but they got the win. The way they won this game today is more reflective of the way they want to play. They scored all their runs with 2 outs, which was incredible. You got the grand slam by Corbin. That was huge. You gave Erod some early run support. He was sensational. I cannot speak more highly about what he's meant to this team. I look at the wins, 6-2. I look at the ERA, 2.45. But most importantly to me, I look at the fact that he's started 15 games. They've won 11 of those. When he takes the ball, you want your ace to give you want to feel like you're going to win the game when your ace takes the ball. 11 out of 15 is pretty incredible. If you put that out over 30 games, if he keeps this up, they'll have won 22 out of the 30 games he would pitch in. That's sensational. He was great again. The offense finally got going a little bit. There's still some guys slumping, like Arenado. He's got his batting average now is worse than it was with St. Louis last year, and that's not a good thing. But Gabby Moreno's come around. You know, Carol Marte's got a 7 or 8 game hitting streak. He's playing well. So there were some signs of life today that they needed.
Yeah, Tommy Troy, a couple hits, a couple RBIs. He had the RBI triple, and then he had that bloop RBI single a little later on in the game. He continues to justify, and it wasn't that long ago, but the decision to send Waldschmidt down and keep him here, I would imagine that was a kind of a choice between the two of them when they made that Gurriel move a couple of days ago. And he's justifying why they chose him, I think, with the way he's swinging the bat and kind of hitting in the 9-hole, setting the top of the order up when they come back around doing the stuff the Diamondbacks expect out of their 9-hole hitter. That's all great. I mean, it's not perfect right now. They were still 3 of 11 with runners in scoring position. But, man, that Corbin Carroll grand slam, it felt so good. It felt so good to see them put the most runs up they've put up in a game since May 24th. And it's just to unload on a team like that, right, after all of these struggles and all of these, hey, here's another ground out with runners at second and third and 1 out, and a ground out with runners at second and third with 2 out. Nice to see them put some runs up and not have to stress about whether they're going to score enough runs to win a baseball game. It was a relief to watch that happen today.
I was Steve Berthiaume had said right before the Grand Slam. I think they were talking. They showed a stat like Corbin Carroll with the bases loaded in his career, 324 batting average, 4 Grand Slams. I think the next pitch he hit a Grand Slam, make it 5 Grand Slams, 13th home run on the season. They wrecked Aldigeri. They just wrecked him. The first major league player born in Italy, and he had 29 pitches in the first inning. He had by the end of the second inning, he was at like I think 60 something. It was like he had a lot. He had 77 pitches by the end of the third. I have that stat written down. 77 by the end of the third. But they walloped him, and they got all that with 2 outs, right? I mean, all those runs in the second, the Troy triple, then Marte got hit by the pitch, and then the walk to Perdomo, and then the grand slam by Corbin, and then 5 runs. They sent 9 men to the plate, all with 2 outs. Listen, we've had a lot of struggles with this offense, a lot. So to see them break out a little bit today it was welcome.
Now, before the game, Mike Hazen was a guest on the Wolf and Luke show. Wolf and Luke, and it was Kellen filling in for Luke today. They were on the field at Chase Field, and they were wrapping up their interview with Mike, and I think they were a little rushed because the game was coming up, and they didn't have as long as they expected. So at the very end, Kellen brought up the whole buyer-seller thing, and Mike very much answered in the affirmative, even when he wasn't asked a question about it. I'll play it for you. You'll understand.
I couldn't ask you the buyer-seller's question, all that kind of stuff. It is
I'm planning on buying. I'll answer that question for you.
Okay, there you go. That was a nice little tidbit at the end.
I'm planning on buying. The 4 words that Diamondback fans were wondering if they'd hear him say. He just said it. I'm planning on buying.
Yeah, the question is, how much money do you have to go shopping with? Right? Isn't that the $1 million question?
Yeah,
I'm planning on buying.
How much money and how deep into your prospects are you willing to go to do that shopping?
Yeah, you recently took your wife to Italy, and at some point she probably said, what's the budget here? What do we got? Or maybe you had to ask her. I don't know. Maybe you had to go to her and say, hey, what? I like this Italian wine. I want to bring some back. Am I looking at $10 bottles or $60 bottle?
We
what is he
not
buying
to talk
with?
too much about the budget when we were there, but I understand the point you're trying to make, Gambo.
Yeah, the point I make is, okay, we're going to go buying. There's players that have exorbitant salaries that could be available, or or are you just looking for the guys that can? Are you looking for rentals that are going to be cheaper, or are you looking for guys that have control?
I think the biggest question I have with what they're going to do. And I saw a story today on The Athletic in which they listed, okay, a month before the trade deadline, here are the 5 teams that need a bat. Here are the 5 teams that need a starter. Here are the 5 teams that need a reliever. Take the reliever out of it. The Arizona Diamondbacks, Gambo, were the only team that were listed in both batter and starting pitcher. They were the only team. They were the only one that made both lists. And that to me is the question about the trade deadline for the Diamondbacks. I have no doubts that Mike Hazen wants to be a buyer, thinks he'll be a buyer, and is planning on being a buyer. No doubts whatsoever. How much does he need to buy? Does he just need a bat? Can he just afford a bat? Is he trying to get a starter too? Is he that to me is the biggest question, because they're going to buy somebody. Are they going to buy lots of somebodies, or can they only afford to buy the one somebody? That's what I want to know about the deadline.
Well, there's what you need and what you want, right? You can't always get what you want, but if you try so hard, you get what you need.
Thank you, Mick. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So what you need is a bat. You need a bat. I can't watch Jorge Barrosa and Pavin Smith and Adrian Del Castillo and continue to swing. And if Nolan Arenado, the slide Nolan Arenado is on is just going into today. He was batting 159 in his last 20 games.
Yeah,
and he went 0 for 4.
It's been tough to watch.
Vargas was 1 for 28, but hitless in his last 21 at bats. I don't think he got a hit today, did he?
He got a walk, but he didn't hit. No.
Right. So he's now hitless in whatever it is, 24 at bats. They need a freaking bat.
Yeah.
Now I know they need a starting pitcher, but you got Eduardo Rodriguez pitching well. You got Ryan Nelson. You got Soroka. I like those 3. You don't have, you don't have Gallen or Kelly pitching well, and you're in trouble 4 or 5. And Burns isn't coming back, so 4 and 5 is a disaster for them right now with Kelly and Gallen. So yeah, they need a starting pitcher, but they need a bat more.
The Big 12 football odds, they've surely shifted since news of Brendan Sorsby, right?
Surely.
Right? That's next on Burns and Gambo.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2.
So you're asking me, do you have any interest in Brendan Sorsby? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Run.
No! How could you ever trust him with the most influential position in all of professional sports when you know he's already gambled on his own team? Your quarterback is going to, more times than not, dictate whether or not you win a game or lose a game. But having said that, I would never do that.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
The summer savings event's going on right now at Liberty GMC. They are in Peoria, 87th Avenue and West Bell Road in Peoria. Or you can shop and buy online all the time at libertygmcaz.com. GMC making nothing but the very best trucks and the very best SUVs you can find out there on the marketplace. And nowhere you're going to find a better selection and nowhere you're going to get a better deal than at Liberty GMC. So if you've been eyeing those SUVs with this summer sales event, now is the time. You can lease a brand new 2026 Terrain, just $269 a month. Or if you want to buy one, you can take up to $6,000 off. If you want bigger than that, the 2026 Yukons, they are arriving daily. Leases starting at $699 a month. And, of course, don't even get me started about the Sierra 1500s. $12,500 off, the very best truck on the market. Liberty GMC, 87th Avenue and West Bell Road in Peoria. Online all the time. LibertyGMCAZ.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Most people wait to replace their AC because of the price tag. But here's the math nobody mentions. A new high-efficiency unit from Parker & Sons starts cutting your energy bills the day it's installed. And with no payments until 2027, you're saving on energy all summer before you've spent a dime on the brand new unit. No interest, no payments, no stress. The offer ends June 30th, so call 602-2-REPAIR for your free quote. That's 602-2-REPAIR.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments. Clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Scorpions don't hate you. Ain't got the brains for hate. What they got is a tail full of bad intentions. Been living in this desert since the dirt was new. Think they got squatters' rights to your laundry basket.
Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Scorpions may have squatters' rights to the desert, but not to your property. Call 602 Blue Sky today. Real pest science, real protection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, Scorpions.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Burns and Gambo, what's on tonight?
All right, what's on tonight? The games that we're going to watch this evening. It's brought to you by Global Credit Union. Explore the benefits of becoming a member by going to globalcu.org. Your world of financial possibilities. Mercury basketball is on tonight, 7 o'clock tip time. They're taking on the Aces. It's been a little bit of a struggle for the Mercury so far this year, to say the least. And then World Cup football, soccer, is on tonight. Right now, there's actually a game going on. There's a match going on right now, pardon me, between Ghana and Panama. And it's you know what? I was going to make fun of you. I did the same thing. I looked at, how can you not look at the word Panama and just immediately go into Van Halen? I don't know. That's scoreless in the 88th minute right now. And then later tonight, it's Uzbekistan versus Colombia at 7. You've adopted Norway as your team.
I like Norway.
Outside of the United States.
Austria. I watched Austria last night.
Outside of the United States, of course, we're all rooting for the United States. I'm adopting Scotland as my team.
I'll be there in 2 weeks.
Outside of the United States, because
Nice.
not only is it my heritage, I've got a lot of Scottish. I respect and admire the fact that Boston bars are selling triple the amount of beers that they normally sell during St. Patrick's Day because of the Scottish fans. I think that's fantastic.
This is incredible.
The parent company of Sam Adams said its Boston tap room ran out of the brand's flagship Boston lager over the weekend because Scotland soccer fans in Boston drank 4 times as much as the bar usually sells.
That's incredible.
Scottish fan Dave Orr told NBC, quote, the White Bull Tavern, there was no beer. The Scottish fans
ran out of beer.
Drank the place dry. All they had was Bud Light. Noel Summers, chief operating officer at Hennessy's Bar, told the Boston Globe that the sales, and I quote, tripled St. Patrick's Day. How do you not root for a country like that who just shows up in Boston and says, we're going to drink the town dry?
All right, so I really am I'm going to ask you this. I'm really oblivious. You go to a bar to watch an entire sporting event. Let's just say you're there to watch. How many beers does the normal person drink at a sports bar watching the game?
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't drink, so I don't know.
Okay, so are we talking about a soccer match? We're talking about a football game?
You go with some friends. You're going to watch the Scotland game. You go to a local bar. You're sitting there for 3. How many beers does a normal person drink during the course of a game?
If you've got a driver.
Okay, you have a driver.
I'm assuming you're drinking 6 to 8 beers over the course of that game. Lauren,
seriously?
Would you agree with that? Oh, Lauren's like, I don't want to answer this question.
That's a high amount. So what are the Scots drinking? Like, how much are they drinking?
I'm gonna say you drink 6 to 8 beers over the course of a 3-hour game, no matter what you're watching, right? I mean, that's what
they said
2 per hour.
Some airlines were even prepared for the sheer volume of drinking that they were hell bent on doing. They drank all the beer on the planes. There was no beer left on the planes when they came over.
Yeah, I think on average.
What is wrong with these people?
Hey, it's one life to live, man. You know, they're living their best lives.
The bar ran out. The bar has 20 beers on tap. There was no beer left.
Scotland is it's what, their first World Cup in 28 years?
Like, do people eat?
It's their first World Cup in 28 years. Party. Hell yeah.
What would you like for your appetizer? A beer. Okay, how about probably main course? A beer. And dessert? A beer. Thank you. Do you want any food? No.
Beer is food.
No.
There's plenty of wheat and barley and important food.
They've got to play Morocco on Friday. Bars might want to stack up a little bit.
Stock up on the beer. I tease
in
this
Foxborough.
I tease this going into the segment. Brendan Sorsby not on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Hasn't changed the odds one bit in the Big 12. Texas Tech is still the favorite to win the conference this year.
No way, really?
I was surprised by that. Yeah, I was surprised by that. The odds have shifted a little bit. They're not as overwhelming of favorites as they were before, but they're still the favorites to win to be the Big 12 conference championship game winner. Texas Tech, followed by BYU, followed by Utah. K-State, Houston, TCU. Man, you have to go way down not way down, but you have to go about halfway down before you find ASU. They've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th best odds to win the Big 12 Conference Championship game. They're tied with Arizona, by the way, for the 7th best odds. Yeah. Okay. Texas leading the way. It's going to do it for us. We're out of here. Arizona Sports Tonight with Mitch and Sammy. Coming up next, we'll see you tomorrow straight up 2 o'clock here on Burns and Gambo.
Have a great night, everyone.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Hey everybody, this is Dan Bickley.
And Vince Marotta.
The Arizona heat is dangerous, but you can help save the lives of our most vulnerable neighbors.
Arizona Sports and the UPS Store are teaming up with the Phoenix Rescue Mission to fight thirst and heat-related illness. You can drop off water at a participating The UPS Store location or donate today. Just text WATER to 620-620 to learn more.
The Arizona Sports Water Drive benefiting the Phoenix Rescue Mission is presented by the UPS Store.
Tired all the time? Gaining weight? Lost your edge? Those aren't just signs of getting older that could be low testosterone. Vital for Men is Arizona's original men's health clinic. Not a franchise, not a side hustle for some med spa. We're open Monday through Friday. We accept most insurance, and right now your first testosterone test is free. Find out where you stand. Call Vital for Men or go to vitalformen.com. It's time to stop guessing and start living.
Hi, it's Vince Marotta here, and in case you missed it, Earnhardt Ford in Chandler is keeping the savings rolling this summer, and your wallet's going to feel it. Now that's American value for American values. That's right, employee pricing isn't going anywhere, and that means one thing: you pay what they pay. Plus stack serious cash back on top. No bull. Right now, save big on a new 2026 F-150 plus an extra $1,000 cash back. 2026 Explorer plus an extra $2,000 in your pocket. 2025 Bronco Sport plus an extra $2,500 cash back. Trust and American value delivered the right way. Since 1951, shop local. Shop Earnhardt Ford. No bull for 75 years and going. That's Earnhardt Ford in Chandler or online at earnhardtford.com.
Most new vehicles include the Noble Protection Packages and added benefits. $699 for cars and SUVs. $1,598 for trucks. After all applicable offers on select new models, exclusions apply. $0 security deposit. APR terms limited. Available through Ford Credit. Not all buyers will qualify. Lessee responsible for excess wear and mileage over 10,500 miles at 20 cents per mile. Plus tax, title, license, and $699 fee. See dealer for details. Offers in July 6, 2026.
Hi, this is Stuart Willis, President of Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. A personal relationship with your financial advisor really matters. It's super important that you have the ability to talk about anything you need to with your advisor. So if you have been pushed off to a call center and you don't have a one-on-one relationship with your financial advisor, then reach out to us at assetpreservationwealth.com. That's assetpreservationwealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Hello, everybody. Eric Bryan, owner of Precision Air and Plumbing. Picture this. It's 8 o'clock on 4th of July. It's 102 degrees outside, and your AC just quit. That's exactly the moment Precision was built for. We stay fully staffed all summer, nights, weekends, and holidays, because that's when you need us the most. And we never charge extra for after-hours calls. Make the Precision decision today. Call 602-FIX-MY-AC.
Hey, it's Tom Chambers with my friend Harold Perkins, president of Galaxy Lending Group. If he told you you could pay off your mortgage decades faster without changing your lifestyle, you'd think he was crazy.
I've heard worse, Tom. Galaxy's Ownership Accelerator Loan does exactly that, and it helps most of our clients to pay off their mortgages in 5 years or less without changing their lifestyle. Let us sit down and show you exactly how it works.
Visit GalaxyLendingGroup.com/radio or text Galaxy to 620-620. Galaxy Lending Group, because 30 years really is optional.
NMLS ID 142766 and Equal Housing Lender. Message and data rates may apply.
How do you make the world's biggest soccer tournament all yours? Easy. Kalshi. Let there be soccer, and you can trade it all on Kalshi. Yep, just the largest prediction market in the world, regulated and live in all 50 states. Hey, Paul Calvisi here. Ask Giannis, Bryson DeChambeau. Speaking of the U.S. Open. And remember, on Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position right now. Group stage. At last check, one of the favorites, Spain, is trading at 17% to win the cup, meaning a $100 trade pays out nearly $550. And for a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use referral code AZSports, one word, AZSports, to get $10 when you trade 10. Referral code AZSports, one word, on the Kalshi app, Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything.
18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
story. All right, Wolf, you've had All Pro Shade Concepts at your house for a couple of years now. What is one thing you'd tell your listeners about them?
Oh, brother, you gotta have shade.
Temps hitting triple digits and the kids won't go outside?
You gotta have shade.
Hosting a backyard barbecue?
You gotta have shade.
Patio furniture fading?
Robert, you gotta have shade.
Wolf, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah. Get